Welcome here on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni G. Shafe. The clip you just saw there, that's the second training of your darling team, Super Eagles of Nigeria, over there in Cote d'Ivoire, where they are training ahead of the crucial match against Benin Republic that will be coming up over there in Cote d'Ivoire. Well, they'll be playing that match today. Well, let me say tonight by 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Nigeria will be facing them. At least we know that as it is, the Eagles are battle ready for this game. And really, they need to win because the last time we met them there, they actually defeated us. So this time around is a revenge period for Super Eagles of Nigeria versus the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. Well, that match will be coming up tonight, and a lot of activities that Eagles are really trying to see how they can turn things around concerning that particular game there. Well, we look at the first story, Super Eagles. As we speak right now, they are really gunning for 3 points. That's the first story we're looking at to assure 2025 Afcon finals ticket. If they are able to win this game by getting 3 points, it means the business is done. The last game against Rwanda in Uyo will just be a formality. So, right now, they need to win this and silence Ganoro and the Cheetahs of Benin Republic as this particular game is concerned. So, Eagles, you just saw there where they were training, their second training. They had the first training on Tuesday, the second training on Wednesday, and now all they need to do is just light fixing before they face Cheetahs of Benin Republic over there at the Stade Fort Boigny. That's actually the stadium where they will be playing those games. Well, for Super Eagles, they are really ready for this. And well, from the way it is, the entire team are trying to see how they will actually do well in this game. And they want to make sure they silence the team from Benin Republic before they'll be facing Rwanda. Well, to join us talk this hour is Joseph Peter from Kaduna. Good to have you, Joseph.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you are a darling Nigerian. Your jersey alone shows that you are really supporting your team. Well, you saw the first story and also the clip of their second training. The Eagles are really getting ready. They are fired up, and as we speak right now, they are ready to gun down the Cheetahs from sky. At least they are the Eagles, the Super Eagles from the sky. They have to gun down the Cheetahs, no matter how fast they could be. Talking about this game coming up tonight over there in Cote d'Ivoire. So your take on this quickly.
Yeah, you know, I'm very, very excited about today's game, particularly for 2 reasons. Number one is the fact that this is an opportunity to shut down Gareth Raw and whatever he thinks he has done, you know, in the World Cup qualifier. And then another reason for me to be pumped up for this match is the fact that, you know, our strikers are in top forms right now. You know, Ademola Lookman doing well, Boniface scoring goals and providing assists, and the Turkish fans do not want Osimhen to leave the club right now because he's doing so well. And you look at players like Iwobi and Calvin Bassey are having it all good. Even the goalkeeper Maduka Okoye is doing well. The newly signed Dele Bashiru is also, you know, showing up. So the squad is kind of in a good form right now. You know, all of them are doing well. And that's the reason why I want to, you know, enjoy the game and be excited. And that's why I'm excited about the game, and that's why I want to enjoy the game. And that's why I believe that today, the day should be for Super Eagles, because I do not expect, you know, the Benin Republic, despite the fact that, you know, this game is a kind of an more important game to them than it is to us. I still expect the Super Eagles to actually, you know, come victorious from this game.
Well, a big one there coming up between Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire by 8 p.m. The entire team are battle ready. Look at them in their second training that they had yesterday. Well, good one. At least training at night, they are used to it. All of them are coming in. And right now, according to the feelers we are getting, the entire team are really fired up against Ghana Raw's team. And they really want to silence him, just like Joseph Peter said. He has done a lot of mind games about this game. And Eagles are really ready to give him some reply on the pitch of play. Well, during the press conference, pre-match conference of the teams that will be playing, we have this particular short one coming from Augustine Eguavoin, the coach of Super Eagles.
With what we've been around for so many years, he knows us in and out. He's part of us, and we know him also inside out. We know what he's capable of, but you know, Nigeria is a country you don't toy with. We respect, we play, with the mindset we come into games is to win, but easier said than done. We fight for every ball, we fight for every point, and that's what we want to do tomorrow. In respect to that, Benin is not a pushover, but we will work hard to make sure we achieve our objective.
Well, good one there coming from the coach Augustine Eguavoin there. Well, Joseph Peter, you heard what he said. Even though they know Ghana Raw, they would not underrate him. They will not take anything to chances at all. They will come out and play well against, because already he knows the team and they also know him. But they don't know the players. They only know him. So this is a very big one, and they just have to silence Ghana Raw.
You know, it's a very, very important reason that he gives there, saying that, you know, that they know that it's wrong, and they are willing to put up the fight. I think the more reason why they want to actually win the game is because he is the one who is the coach, and because of the previous 9 games which he has played. So I'm quite sure that they are also, you know, pumped up, and they want to actually shut him up. So that's very, very important, because that's a big motivating factor for me, and I think they can do it, and I believe they will do it.
Well, we actually believe that Eagles will make us proud, according to what is coming in from Cote d'Ivoire. And now, as it is, a big one coming up, the likes of Osimhen, who really was not around for the one they played last, and now he's around. Osimhen will be ready to also bang him more goals today, and the Nigerians can't wait to see what he'll be doing. The man with Galatasaray has turned things around with them, and the fans over there are really clicked with him. So for tonight's match, a big one, Joseph Peter, Osimhen is back and is really in his one of his best form right now. Ademola Lookman, like you mentioned, all of them are in camp, and they are all ready to make sure they do well in this particular crucial game.
It is very, very nice to know, you know, Osimhen will be the one leading the line. It actually gives us a big boost when it comes to hope as far as goal scoring. And then another person who is back into the team, who I'm happy for, is the tall striker from Spain. His name has just eluded me right now. It's also nice to have that striker actually back. And then, you know, we are talking about how much Gareth Raw knows this player. He doesn't really know this set of players like that, you know, because when he was coach, there wasn't Boniface, there was no, you know, Dele Bashiru, and a couple of others like that were not actually there. So he doesn't really know them. And these are good top players that are on form right now for their clubs. So I mean, this is going to be a whole different ball game, unlike the previous game, which, you know, that we lost against them. So I'm quite positive about this particular encounter.
Well, big one coming up tonight by 8 p.m. and really Nigerians can't wait to see what Super Eagles will be doing. And we've been with Joseph Peters that joined us from Kaduna to talk about this big one coming up for the Afcon 2025. Well, for Sadiq Umar, back to that team is a good one, because it actually boosts his morale, and for the fact that Coach Eguavoin deemed me fit to give me a call-up after he recuperated from the injury he sustained. That's a good move, even though some Nigerians are really questioning that, but I don't see the reason why. He is a Nigerian, and he deserves that particular call-up. After all, he's back to his feet. Now, let's talk about new entrant to that team. We have 2025 Afcon, Osho bangs on work ethics to break first, actually talking about that second story that we're looking at there, to break the first team barrier that will be against Benin Republic. Well, as it is right now, we know that Gabriel Osho, that applies trade with Auxerre of France, is in that team. Although this is not the first time he was invited, but this is the first time he'll be able to honor that particular opportunity of being invited. And as it is, Osho is really fired up to make sure he breaks in to that team. We know that Shemi Ajayi is injured, and then he has to get that call-up. And also alongside Victor Okoye to Nasarawa United. Both of them are saying they will make sure they break into the team. We know that's going to be a tough one. By the time the entire players, if they are all get healed, who knows who will be able to stay on there. But for sure, he says he's ready to face all the challenges it will take to be able to stand in as at least top 11 with Super Eagles. Let's listen to what he said during the interview at the camp.
Gabriel Osho, defender for Auxerre and the Super Eagles. Both my parents were born in Lagos. Baoni guys, I'm happy to be here. I've been, invited before, but I couldn't come because of injury and one or two other things. But when this time came and everything kind of aligned, I was just so grateful to God that the time to finally come and I could join up with the team. I'll just work as hard as I can, and I think that's what the fans can expect from every single player here. As long as everyone works as hard as they can, everyone's talented enough to be here. So it's now just applying that and the work ethic. So that's what I plan to give, just as much hard work and everything I can for the shirt. All you have to do is look at the front line. And you see the name and all the players that are here and the players that couldn't be selected in the squad this time. I mean, the country's full of talented players. So it's very competitive. To get a call up like this is, as I said, it's a great honour for me because I know there are so many other great players.
Gabriel Osho there talking to the press concerning his expectations for this man, also for the fact that he wants to break in to that top 11. Joseph Peter, what's an ambition coming from Gabriel Osho there? Okay, it seems Joseph Peter will be joining us. At least let's hope that everything goes well with you as we talked about this particular player. But really, Gabriel Osho is really trying to see how he will be able to get it right and also break into the Super Eagles top 11. And right now, the young man playing his trade with Auxerre of France is really determined to make sure he's able to make it, and also hoping that he will be featured first in the first, that's the game tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to showcase his talent for Nigerians to see. Well, Joseph Peter, you were about saying something before that frozen time. Let's have you back.
Yeah. I was actually saying that's the right mindset to wear. When you are being called to represent your country, the first step is actually getting the call, because there are lots of players, especially for the case of Nigeria, where there are lots of talents are everywhere, looking out to play for the Super Eagles. And then you get the call up. And when you get the call up, the second thing that should be on your mind is actually how to represent when you get the chance. And it's nice to hear him talk like that. And I believe very, very well that if he is given the opportunity, of course, he would want to display and, pay the coach back for, giving him the opportunity, and also build a bridge so that he can be called the next time. Because your performance in this game, if given the chance, will determine whether you get the second call-up, right? So I'm very, very sure he will want the second call-up. And, it's nice to, see these kinds of players, being invited and them being kind of motivated to come and play for this country, because we have a host of them out there that can play football very, very well, but are actually representing other countries when they would have been playing for us. So it's a good one coming from Gabriel Osho.
Well, seriously, good one coming from Gabriel Osho there, the man that plays straight over there in France, and hopefully the entire team will do us proud tonight. Whoever is actually picked to represent Nigeria, donning that green, white, green color is not, you don't have any right, just a privilege, and you just have to go out there and prove to Nigerians why you are giving that nod to start or later come in as a substitute. Well, tonight by 8 p.m., Stade Barren over there in Cote d'Ivoire will be hosting the two teams, Super Eagles versus Cheetahs of Benin Republic. Well, Eagles are about ready to silence their former coach. That's they want to make sure he wouldn't win this game, and if they are able to win automatically, they'll be able to make it to that particular competition, and also just playing against Rwanda will be a normal game. Well, talking about the Afcon 2025 qualifier, rather games have been played. Let's look at the result and also how the table of all the teams, all the groups in Africa is actually standing. Well, some games that were played yesterday, and you look at Chad against Sierra Leone ended 1-1. In Group G, Liberia pipped Togo by a lone goal, while Namibia and Cameroon also ended nil-nil. That's match day 5 that was played yesterday in the qualifiers of the African Cup of Nations Morocco 2025. That will be coming up from next year, January. So big one. Now looking at the way the table is, and you look at in Group A, well, Tunisia still leading the pack there, followed by Comoros, the Gambia, and Madagascar in that pecking order of playing 4 matches and having 7-6-5-2. And in Group B is Morocco, Gabon, Central African Republic, and Lesotho. Morocco, they've done the business of qualifying. Good job for them as at least the host nation. Group C, you have Egypt, 12 points, Botswana, Cape Verde, and you have Mauritania. So Egypt, good one for them too. Well, our group D, Nigeria, we have 10 points, but the Republic with 6, Rwanda 5, and Libya 1. And if you are able to win tonight, we have good 13 points, and no matter what they play, even though if they win their remaining matches, they can meet up with us. So all that we need to do is win this match tonight. Where for Group E, yes, Algeria and Equatorial Guinea, despite not playing their match day 5 yet, they have 12 points and 7 points. So Algeria, they've qualified already. Liberia played yesterday. They have 4 points from 5 matches, and Togo 2 points from 5 matches. So both of them right now, well, they are just there to make the upward numbers. And you look at the groups, Group G, and we have Group G now. We're looking at how it's standing there. You have Cote d'Ivoire with 9 points, Zambia 7 points, Sierra Leone and Chad, despite playing 5 matches, they have 5 and 3. Going back to that table, you look at Group H, DR Congo 12 points, they've qualified. Guinea, you have Tanzania and Ethiopia 6-4-1, trying to see how they can fight for honor between Guinea and Tanzania. And for Group I is Mozambique 8 points, Mali 8 points. Surprisingly, Mozambique actually ahead of Mali. Guinea-Bissau, Eswatini are all fighting for honors there. Well, you have Group J, which is Cameroon, Zimbabwe, Kenya, and Namibia. Namibia down with just 1 point. Cameroon, they have 11 points. Zimbabwe, 8 points. And Kenya, they have 4 points. They are going back. Let's look at Group K. Group K, you have Uganda with 10 points. South Africa, 8 points. This is a surprise too anyway. It's a very surprising team group there. Uganda 10, South Africa 8, Congo 4, South Sudan, no point yet. And you look at Group L with 10 points, Burkina Faso and Senegal, who are right now, they've both qualified for this competition. Burundi, Malawi, just making up the point of those games that will be played for the match day 5 and match day 6 of the Afcon 2025 qualifiers there. Just to let you have a feel of what is happening about all the table, the standing of all the groups from Group A to Group L in the Afcon 25 qualifiers. Joseph Peter, I'm sure you're going to be surprised that group, Group K, well, South Africa is second on the log, although they have the chance, at least they are second, and the 2 matches remaining. If Congo are able to win, that could be a surprise.
Yeah, and you know, it's a good thing. That's the beauty of football. You know, when the teams that you are expecting to actually qualify are not even, you know, topping the table and are having difficulties. And I remember even we, Nigeria, have been in situations like that, you know, in the past. So that's the beauty of football. But then it's open for them to qualify, which I'm sure they would want to pick the ticket. And if you look at the whole qualification stage at you know, in the general level, you would see that the powerhouses of football in Africa are kind of looking up. Unlike, you know, the previous 2-3 years when, you know, you were having even Senegal, you know, dangling and Ivory Coast going down, and you know. But now, if you look at the whole table, you would see that Algeria is stopping, Morocco is stopping, Nigeria is stopping, Egypt is stopping, and so on. So, it's getting better for the powerhouses of football in Africa. But however, football, there will always be that iota of surprise. That, that surprise factor would have to be there, kind of it. And that's what's happening in the South African group.
Well, seriously, a big one coming up in the Afcon 25 qualifier, where all the teams are really trying to see how they can make it, because today, in fact, some just yesterday and also coming up today and also on Friday, most of them will be getting a decider. More teams will be joining those who are currently qualified so far. The likes of Senegal, Egypt, Algeria, making up the numbers, and where hopefully tonight Nigeria should be able to join. If we are able to beat Benin Republic in Cote d'Ivoire, then we've done the business, and that will be a plus for Eagles, because a lot of Nigerians will be very happy considering what is happening in our nation. But right now, hopefully, we wish them the best. 8 p.m. Nigerian time, that's when Eagles will fight out against Cheetahs of Benin Republic, and also against their former coach, Coach Ganoro. What a match coming up tonight. We wish Super Eagles the best. We've actually been showcasing them for almost 20 minutes now. And let's digress a bit and talk about our women in the CAF Women Champions League taking place in Morocco. Well, just yesterday, they tried their best, but they could not win the game. CAF Women's Champions League, Edo Queens versus FC Masar, ends in Barren draw. They won their first game, and the second game, a tough one for them. Watch out for that FC Masar. They defeated Mamelodi Sundown Ladies of South Africa, the defending champion of this competition. So actually, it's expected that they held our team, Edo Queens, to a goalless draw. So I would rather appreciate Edo Queens for being able to at least get a draw against them. They really came out formidable against our team, and right now, Edo Queens, they fought hard. They were able to get a draw there. Let's look at the results of those games that were played yesterday, both in Group A and B, where University of the Western Cape of South Africa, they defeated Angus de la Medina 2-0 in Group A, and you have AS FAR of Morocco defeating DP Mazembe of Congo 3-1 in Group A also, while in Group B, Mamelodi Sundown, they came back smoking. They are the defending champion of this competition. After their first loss against AFC Masar, they really got angry and they walloped CBE of Ethiopia 4-0 in the Group B game, while Edo Queens, they actually play goalless against FC Masar of Morocco. Well, right now, let's look at how the table is standing in Group A and B before Joseph will be adding his own to the spice. And you look at Group A now, AS FAR of Morocco, really, they've done well. They won their 2 games. Watch out for the Moroccan teams. They are really developed when it comes to women football in Africa. They have 6 points. They won 2 games. They are yet to lose, and they've scored 5 goals so far. TP Mazembe, they need to copy how their men do the business. They are second on the log. They have 3 points. University of Western Cape, they have 3 points also. Eagles de la Medina, they are yet to actually get a point, and they are to play their last match. So a big one for them. In Group B, where we have our own team, Edo Queens, good one for them. They have 4 points with a +3 goal difference. That's an edge ahead of FC Masar, who have a +1, although we are on the same point, but a +3, a +1 is a difference between Edo Queens of Nigeria and FC Masar of Morocco. Mamelodi Sundown, defending champions, are standing third with 3 points, and I can bet you that they are coming with, they are really coming with smoke in there. They are standing third, and you have CBEFC. They are actually yet to gather a point there. Well, from the way it is right now, we need to play Mamelodi Sundown Ladies in our last match. All we need is just to make sure at least we are able to get a draw. If we can get a draw, that will give us a chance to also qualify. So if FC Masar can defeat CBE, they will top the group. And if you can beat Mamelodi Sundown Ladies, we will also top the group. So it's a do-or-die affair between Nigeria team, Edo Queens, against Mamelodi Sundown Ladies of South Africa. Joseph Peter, a tough one for them. They just have to win that game if they are to scale through.
It is very, very rare for you to see a Nigerian team celebrating a draw.
Okay, you're there with us, Joseph Peter.
But I guess
we're talking about the CAF Champions League women's version of it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I was saying it's very, very rare for you to see a Nigerian team celebrating a draw at home. But I guess in this case, we can make an exception, seeing how far Masar have gone when it comes to their performance, even though they are able to defeat Mamelodi Sundowns, who are actually defending champions. So it's a good result already for the Edo Queens after winning their first game. I think they can be able to defeat Mamelodi Sundowns, because if if you go by context, they just pulled a draw against a team that defeated Mamelodi Sundowns. So by context, you would say that they are better than Mamelodi Sundowns themselves. So I think what they need to win, they need to carry is a winning mentality. They need to go into that game with the mindset that they are going to take nothing but the maximum points. That way, if anything goes wrong, the worst will be a draw, which equally qualifies them for the next round. So if I were them and if I were the coach, that's what I would be telling the girls to do, and it's very, very much possible. Even though you look at it and you think Mamelodi Sundowns, after just winning their last game 4-0, will come for the point, but nevertheless, this game of 11 against 11, and I believe that the Edo Queens have an edge. All they need to do is keep their cool, play well, take their chances, and they should be able to qualify to the next round.
And when you talk about chances, the fact that we are facing defending champion, and if you saw actually the last game they played, you look at that result, they were able to wall up their opponent 4-0, and they did so well. I'm talking about Mamelodi ladies now. They know what is at stake. They have to the point if they will be looking at getting a win against Nigerian team Edo Queens. So Edo Queens needs to really do well. Meanwhile, FC Masar too, the whipping child of that group is the Ethiopian team CBEFC, which from the way it is, FC Masar will also want to go on rampage against them. So a tough game, very, very tough one between Edo Queens and Mamelodi Ladies of South Africa, because the ladies knows that all they need to do is to make sure they are able to win that game, not allowing Edo Queens to defeat them. And that will be a very tough one after starting so well. I'm talking about Edo Queens.
It's a very, very tough one. It's going to be very tough in the sense that, it's more or less like a sudden death for the both teams. If Mamelodi Sundowns takes the maximum point, that gives them a chance of qualification. If Nigerian side Edo Queens can get a draw, that equally gives them, qualifies them automatically. So it's going to be a very keenly contested game. But at the end, it's all going to be down to who executes his or her plan, who does better. The better team will actually win the game, because that's the game of football. It has to end one way or the other. If it ends in draw, then it's good for the Nigerian team. However, the other team, FC Masar, playing the minnows in the group, would be kind of easy for them. Home or away, I expect them to take the maximum points. So in this kind of situation, you would want to project that FC Masar should be considered as those who have qualified already. If not anything, except if something major goes wrong, I think they should be considered to be among the teams that will qualify already. The difficulty lies between the games between Nigerian Edo Queens and South African Mamelodi Sundowns. That's where the tough game is going to be. It's going to be played, and that's where the main focus would be on.
Okay, we're talking about CAF Women Champions League. A tough one for Edo Queens there. They are on 4 points alongside FC Masar of Morocco. Mamelodi Sundowns leading 3 points, and they are meeting on Saturday. So all they need to do, go out there, get a draw at worst, or if they can win that game, and that will be a plus for Edo Queens, who so far in this competition, they've won one, they drew one, and that shows that they are battle ready. They really deserve to go ahead and at least qualify from this group, and hopefully they can scoop this particular competition. Well, really, the team from Morocco are doing so well, and just have to appreciate the fact that the way the Moroccans, the way they are going with football, very soon they will conquer almost age grade competitions, because they are really planning ahead, are really ahead of other nations when it comes to the business of sport. Well, from there, let's dash into Bauchi State. We look at the results of the story that has to do with volleyball, beach volleyball this time around, where the teams like Custom and Kada Queens did well on match day 2, 2024 National Beach Volleyball Open Tour. Kings Customs dominates day 2. Well, those games are played, and we look at the result from the women to the men's star and also the men's open. Kada Emirates there 2-0. They defeated Adamawa Queens 21-15, 21-3. Well, what a way to go. They really blew them over. Kada Emirates there in the women version of National Beach Volleyball Star Open Tour, where the Nigerian Customs Service also won their game against Masar Cattle team 21-10, 21-6. Well, good one. In the first game, they won 21-10, and the second game, they won 21-6. While the National Beach Volleyball Open Tour men's star result, you look at Vicky Spikers in their first game, they defeated Samba Boys 2-0, 21-19, 21-13. Kada Kings, they show why they are kings. They won 2-1 against Kada Stars, 21-13, 19-21. They lost one game there, and they won 15-13. While Kada Kings also in their second game defeated Samba Boys 2-0, 21-6, 21-13. Let's look at the last result as actually took place there. Well, for the Beach Volleyball Star Open Tour Men Open Resort, Musa Rifkatu lost against Oshun Spikers 10-21, 13-21. Wiki Spikers 2 second game. They lost that game against Pro Spikers, who showed their professionalism by winning 21-16 and 21-15. Kada Prince, in the 2 games they played in their first game, they play against Simplified VCC. They won that game 2-1, and the second one against Pro Spikers 2-0. Kada Prince also play against Oshun Spikers. They won 2-0. And you look at Kada Prince, in the other angle of it, they lost that game against Simplified FC, while the Finance Volleyball Club defeated Wiki Spikers 2, while Pro Spikers defeated Oshun Spikers 2-1 in their own game there. Just to let you have a feel of what is happening in the beach volleyball taking place in Bauchi State for this year's edition of the Open Tour for men and also for women. Congrats to all the teams that actually won, and for those who are yet to win, they will have to gather more storm to do well on match day 3 as they continue that particular competition. We'll continue to bring you more updates concerning this in our subsequent edition of our shows. Congrats to all the teams over there at the beach volleyball taking place in Bauchi State. Well, for the beach volleyball clubs in Nigeria, they are really gathering a lot of momentum, really going through that sport, and really have a lot of beaches across Nigeria, and that's an opportunity for them to have to be able to train and also do well before they go continental, also intercontinental. Wishing them the best there in national volleyball, beach volleyball competition taking place in Bauchi. Well, right now let's talk about table tennis. Our own star player, African player, we just can't take anything away from Aruna Quadri. Right now, Aruna Quadri moved in latest ranking. He's still standing 22 on the log of the latest ranking by ITTF, International Table Tennis Federation. Aruna Quadri is following Egyptian Omar Assar, who upstaged him to be 21. He's now 21 in the world, and Aruna Quadri is 22. But Omar Assar now is going to be number 1 automatically in Africa. But between the two of them, we know that Aruna Quadri really actually showcased his talent, and you can give him his flower any day, any time for what he has done. Joseph Peter, star player, African number 1 when it comes to table tennis, he's really doing well. Well, still ranked number 22 in the world. That was the time he was ranked 10, 12, 14, but he's ranked 22. If you remember, he actually did well at the WTT World Table Tennis that took place over there in Germany. He defeated Harimoto, and you know how good Harimoto is. He defeated Harimoto in the game they played before losing out, and this, despite that, he still remained unmoved in the latest ranking by the International Table Tennis Federation.
Obviously, you cannot take away anything from Aruna Quadri. He has done it all. He has seen it all. He has won it all. He has been in various positions. In this log, he has played against the best and have won. He has done a lot of things. He's a legend as far as I'm concerned in this game. So I wouldn't even be concerned if the log comes out and he has dropped. I wouldn't even be concerned. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing that he is. He has not dropped. Instead, he kept and maintained his position, which means there's more room for improvement. But it's when you look at sportsmen like Aruna Quadri, you begin to wonder, room for improvement? Because you think they have done a lot. So what would you be expecting from them right now after doing so much? I think it is natural to expect a bit of decline. Every sportsman, when he gets to towards the end of his career, faces declines. I'm not saying Aruna Quadri has started facing any major decline, but he has done so much that if it were to be happening right now, we all Nigerians that have known him, that have smiled because of his gains, would not, of course, not care or not complain too much about what he has been, because of what he has been able to achieve. So for him to keep that position is actually a good thing, and kudos to him.
Kudos to Aruna Quadri. Well, a good one for him. At least still remain unmoved in the latest ranking and he'll be hoping to be better in the next ranking. We wish him the best, and other Nigerian players that apply their training in this sport of ping pong table tennis across the globe, the likes of Olagide Omotayo, not forgetting all of them that are playing Afcon, also participating in table tennis. To let you know that the wife of Aaron Akoli is also a table tennis player, so it's a family thing, and they're really prospering in it. Well, away from table tennis, quickly let's dash into NBA result. Games were played earlier today, and we look at the result of all the games that have been played. We look at Los Angeles Lakers 5-point extra to defeat Memphis Grizzlies in that game. Good one for LA Lakers, being able to at least win this game is a plus to them, and just can't take any away from the star player LeBron James. Minnesota teams 98 against Portland Trail Blazers, who actually blazed the trade there. They were able to win 106-98. In that particular game. 104 was the score of Phoenix Suns against Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings won that game, and they really showed their class by extra 23 points to defeat Phoenix Suns in that encounter. Congrats to them. Houston Rockets, they show why they are called the Rockets. 111, they defeated Los Angeles Clippers. What's happening to LA Clippers? Their wings have been clipped almost in all the games they've been playing. Washington Wizards 130, they lost against San Antonio Spurs by extra 9 points. Brooklyn Nets of New York 114, and you have Boston Celtic, or at least that's expected of a team of that caliber. Boston Celtic, any day, anytime, they can always blow you away. 139 to defeat Brooklyn Nets, 114. White Chicago Bulls, just a point. What a match, what a game. New York Knicks, they could not nick it in the board. Nip it rather. They tried to nip it, but it didn't happen. Just by a miss of an angle, they lost out by 123 to 124. While Cleveland Cavaliers, they won 114 against Philadelphia 76ers, who fought hard, but they lost that game by 106 to 114. For New Orleans Pelicans, they need to learn more basketball game against Oklahoma City Thunder, because they blew them away 106 to 88 to actually defeat New Orleans Pelicans, coming from Oklahoma City Thunder. Orlando Magic, what a magic there. 4 extra points to at least defeated Indiana Pacers, who actually had 90 points in that game to draw behind against Orlando Magic, who won by 4 extra points. At least looking at the result of the games played in the NBA earlier today. To continue, at least we'll continue to give you more of this for all the players playing their trade there. I'm talking about Nigerians now. We expect that more of them will be doing well. Particularly Osho is also doing well in basketball in the NBA. All of Nigerians playing there, apply their trade in the NBA. We wish them the best, and we also wish all the teams that are doing well the best there. Well, right now, coming back home, Joseph Peter, we've earlier talked about the Super Eagles, and you look at the performance of that team. I'm talking about Super Eagles now. When you look at the way they are playing now, they seems to be getting better. Would you at least attribute that to the fact that Nigerians are not happy with the way they play so far, or maybe because of the way they are applying their trades in their different clubs?
I wouldn't attribute it to any of those reasons. I'd rather attribute it to tactic from the coach. When you see a team playing well, fluid football...
You want to give the coach the credit?
Yes, I'd rather give the coach the credit, because I know that when a team is playing well, fluid formation, they start from the goalkeeper, from the defense these days, to the midfield and to the attack. Everything is all down to the coach. He's the one who sets up these players, and he's the one who finds the balance, which is very, very important. You can have a host of stars in your team, and if you don't find balance, we don't have balance and how to play them and make them gel and play together just the way it's supposed to be, then you are actually not doing yourself, any favor. So for a coach to be able to do that, I think that coach deserves credit. And this didn't start with Austin Eguavoen. I think, towards the end of the competition, the African Nations Cup, the previous coach, Paseru, actually was the one who discovered that balance, and it started with him, and now it has continued. And one important thing that I must mention is the fact that the inclusion or the coming in of Dele Bashiru has done a lot to the Super Eagles squad. A lot of people may not have noticed, but he has kind of tightened. It's like that piece of puzzle that's missing, that has been found. he's fast. He has become that bridge between the defensive midfield and the attack. So whenever he takes the ball, the way he breaks into attack, the way he carries the ball into attack, and the flair that he carries with it, it's making everything look as if it's so easy. But it's not just so easy. We've seen worse Super Eagles squads before play football without knowing what they are actually doing on the field. But this group are actually doing quite well, and it's credit to the coach as far as I'm concerned.
After giving the credit to the coaches, you look at this, I don't want to call them Musketeers now because now they are 4. The goalkeeper trainer is also there, part of the technical crew. So you look at Ogumodede, Ilechukwu and Eguavon. Even though a lot of Nigerians have been saying, okay, let's give them the chance to be the substantive coach of our team. Right now they are still on interim. As it seems, if you are to be, let me say, the NFF president, the NSC, National Sports Commission, and from the way it is, would you by now, give them this job substantively?
Would I give them the job by now? No. But would I be considering giving them the job? Yes. And don't forget that I am a very, very much castigator. I'll call myself. Well, I'll say I kind of condemn Eguavon a lot, most cases. And you can't blame me because, like I love to say, the marriage between Eguavon and the Super Eagles usually doesn't end well. So when it comes to criticizing Eguavon, I think I am one of the best when it comes to that. But for me to actually tell you that he has actually continued something that Pesero started is a good thing. It's a good sign. I like the team. Ilechukwu with the experience he has gathered, then Eguavon with his own experience, all coming together with the other coach. They are doing quite a job there, and I love what they are doing. And if they should continue, then yes, they should be given the accolade to continue. But for now, I would just be considering them for you.
Well, seriously, and really, credit should be given to those coaches, Ogumodede and Fidelis Ilechukwu. Their inclusion with Eguavon seems to be at least a working magic. Looking at their teams, Rangers International and also Remo Stars, you just have to agree with them. It's not easy. They go back to their club, they come back to coach Eagles and all that. So Eguavon is more focused on the team, and those guys, you just have to give them credit for what they are doing on the ground, getting all the accolades for what they have been doing so far. We just have to appreciate the technical crew of Eagles, Super Eagles of Nigeria. Hopefully, they will also scoop tonight's game and give us 3 points at stake. You can look at them there. Also, the goalkeeper trainer really deserve commendation for sticking with the goalkeeper they've been inviting, and also making sure we have the best when it comes to that department. And really, Eagles are fired up for tonight. Well, before I'll be asking you your own score line, let's quickly dash into some transfer gossip as we look at for Awoni Taiwo. It needs to brazen up because as we speak right now, Nottingham Forest are really weighing up the idea of getting a particular player from Brazil, Corinthians of Brazil. His name is Yuri Alberto. Alberto is a player they want to go for, even though he's actually valued at £25 million to challenge Taiwo Awoniyi. Well, Joseph Peter, a big one. Anytime Brazilians, Argentines, Italians working with again, or rather play the same wing with Nigeria, it's always a very, very tough decision. So Awoniyi needs to buckle up if this particular player is signed.
What if I tell you that Awoni is only a victim of circumstance? The reason why I say so is Nottingham Forest will not be talking about signing Yuri Alberto if they are not in the position where they are on the log right now. They have, surprisingly, I would say, found themselves among the top 4 of the Premier League, and therefore they want to quickly, stick it up and make sure that they stay around. They stick around. They want a European place. That is just what is happening, and because of that, they are looking at, bringing in another player. And you would trust me, you would also believe with me that Nottingham Forest do not joke when it comes to transfer. When they say they want a player, they actually used to go and get them. But remember how they got more than 10 signings in a season. So they actually would do it if they are actually talking about it. But for Awoniyi, what he needs to do is to sit up. Unfortunately for him right now, the first striker is Chris Wood, and he is on form right now, scoring goals, and doing very, very well. I think what Awoniyi needs to do, just like every other footballer, is anytime he is given the chance, that few minutes, he needs to utilize it, and he needs to show that he is also in contention. If he proves himself to be a good backup to Chris Wood, or maybe even a contender for that position, then I'm quite sure that Nottingham Forest would do away with the idea of going for Yuri Alberto.
Okay, well, Yuri Alberto, well, for Nottingham Forest, they want to go for him. If everything goes well, it will be competing against Taiwo Awonia. Before we go, we look at the last piece on the transfer gossip that has to do with Leroy Sané, who plays trade with Bayern Munich right now because Manchester United and Arsenal are interested in that particular winger. Leroy Sané is a player that both Man United and Arsenal want, a former Manchester City player, really deserving all these accolades coming from this club because they really want to go for him and let the best team get him, and still Bayern could still hold him down even though his contract will be expiring soon. That is why the clubs are beginning to knock at the door of Leroy Sané. Well, before we go, let me throw some banter at you, Joseph Peter. What's happening to your club? What's happening to Arteta?
There's nothing happening to my club. There is nothing happening to Arteta.
Your voice is going
Football
down.
Football is happening. That's what I can tell you.
Your voice
Football
is going down,
happening.
Joseph.
And my players will come back, and we would be top guns again. And I am telling you, Arsenal will win the Premier League. I still stand by it. Arsenal will win the Premier League 2024-2025.
You are saying Arsenal will still win this league?
Yes, Arsenal will win the Premier League 2024-2025. Liverpool is not going to win all their games. Okay. Liverpool are having just a good form, but at some point they will ride up. They would stop. Arsenal will top the league by the end of 2025. Mark my word.
Okay, I hope that. So as you said, I should mark your word. It has been marked by a lot of people. So let's wait and see what happens at the end. By May, we see maybe Arsenal actually win the league. At least 20 tons, some tantrums at you there. But really, it's going to be a tough order because of the way it is right now. Liverpool, you know how it is. Man City, Chelsea, and all of them. And really, it's getting tougher for. I think the mistake Arteta made was not signing a top striker that last summer. And that will have at least add to the spark of that team. But right now, hopefully, maybe we'll do that in January for your team to do well. Maybe they should just come for you and sign you, right?
Absolutely. I give myself for that club. I'll do anything, to make that club come.
I'm quite sure that they have a plan. If
the injury too was unexpected.
If they sign you now, you sure you can play their games?
I think all I would need would be, very, very rigorous training for a month, and I'll be in shape.
Okay, Super Eagles versus Benin Republic, Cheetahs versus Super Eagles tonight, 8 p.m. Your score line?
A very, very tight game. No early goals first half. Second half, 1 goal for the Super Eagles. Dele Bashiru.
Well, okay, let's see. Maybe I should call him Mr. Dele Bashiru now. Hopefully, let's see, maybe he'll be scoring tonight in that game. You actually predict 1-0 in favor of the Super Eagles. All we need is a win, and then the business is done. We wish Super Eagles the best as they file out tonight by 8 p.m. Nigerian time for them to at least play this game. We wish them the best there. Joseph Peter has been with us from Kaduna. We appreciate you for joining us. Thank you so much, Joseph.
It's always nice being here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, good morning there from the entire crew of this show. We want to appreciate you for also staying with us to watch this show 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni G. Shafe. Sport is business and fitness. Thanks for watching.